So in case you hadn't noticed from the general sense of indignant outrage that I think comes across a lot on this channel, I'm a bit of a feminist. I do try and intersperse said indignant outrage with like room tours and stuff because I don't want you to think I have some kind of rage issue. I just have a lot of feelings. I was about 12 when I started identifying with the label of feminist, although I would say that my first feminist stance was when I got really mad about Yorkie bars and their "it's not for girls" slogan. Although I would concede that maybe that one had slightly more to do with chocolate than it did gender equality, but you gotta start somewhere. So with these 4 years of experience of being a young feminist, I thought I would present unto you a guide as to how to be a teen feminist. And this guide is not gender specific, by the way, because we're open-minded here at Over 17 Mirrors. Okay, step 1. You've realised you're a feminist and you want the world to know it. I mean, it's gonna become apparent to everyone else very soon when you start informing them how wrong they are all the time. But if you can't wait till then, I would suggest buying some obnoxious clothing. Just as those who have recently realised they're gay might go through a bit of a rainbow phase, feminists may want to literally display their allegiance on their sleeve. Boom. Okay, step 2. People know you're a feminist now, so you need to make sure you're up to date on the lingo. Patriarchy. A system of society or government where men are generally favoured and women are excluded. Slut-shaming. Undermining and attacking a woman for displaying her sexuality. Misogyny and sexism. Misogyny is the hatred and resentment of anything associated with women, and sexism would be how it manifests itself. Step 3. For a few more key terms and general excellent ideas, you're going to want to read some feminist literature. Now, there is a lot, and I would suggest you stay away from some of the really old stuff because there are going to be some ideas in there that make you go, not so much. I have really enjoyed Female Chauvinist Pigs, How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran, Manifesto, which is fun if you like the 90s. Essential reading material. And also, of course, the Rookie Mag yearbook. It says everything from amazing fashion to incredible feministy essays, and a front cover that makes stains less obvious because it's so old-timey. But don't be afraid to disagree with some of the things that people say in these books. You'll quite quickly learn that feminism isn't always a very cohesive ideology, and there are going to be some people who make you go, ah! And so it's important to remember that even if you're a teeny tiny little woman, you can have your own opinion on stuff. Step 4 is of a similar vein, and that is that I suggest you get a Tumblr and follow Feminist Disney or Calling Out Bigotry or something like that, because it's really important to try and be as inclusive as possible with your feminism, and they will help you think about people who maybe don't have the same opportunities and privilege as you do. However, disclaimer, don't come crying to me when Tumblr becomes a massive time drain for you. That's your problem now. Step 5. A lot of the time you're going to just be really annoyed, and sometimes people aren't going to be very open to listening right now as to why something is problematic. Even if you are a hoot and a half who shouts "J'accuse" every time they begin. I don't know why people don't like that. So I suggest you develop a "this displeases me and is very problematic" face. As a teen feminist, you're allowed to be particularly angsty, so this is the best time to utilise the face. I'm quite lucky I was born with one of these. The first time I was told off for showing my emotions so vividly on my face was when I was 11, and I was informed that it was upsetting my primary school teacher. But it's cool, they're quite easy to come up with on your own. I find that this face is particularly effective during like school assemblies and classroom situations, because boy oh boy does it make people uncomfortable. Do not try it on your parents. They don't like it. Step 6, I don't want to put my cup down and I don't have enough fingers now. To avoid like popping out your contact lenses and stuff through constant eye rolling, you need to find a TV show that actually appeals to you and is not a constant source of despair. I chose 30 Rock and Buffy, which makes me feel almost as cliched as the time I realised that I actually did find out what periods were through reading Are You There God, It's Me, Margaret.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. My name is Tanae. I'm the current president of our NAACP chapter.
Great.
And so I just have a few questions. During your entire presentation, I noticed that you failed to mention that feminism is the belief that men and women are equal. So do you not think this? And then also, I noticed when you were talking about America's values and about how great America is,
Yep.
you failed to mention that our nation was built on the power of white men without the acknowledgement of black people, the Indians, women at least. So do you not think that men and women are equal? Do you not acknowledge the problems that we have here in America that does, in fact, not make America great?
All right. No. Let's be respectful.
I mean, not triggered. I understand how to handle myself, unlike some Trump supporters.
Guys. It was a perfectly reasonable, respectful question. Let's be respectful.
Thank you.
On the first half of your question, women don't agree with you. Fewer than 1 in 5 women in America describes themselves as a feminist, even though over 85% of them believe in inequality between the sexes. Why? Because they know that feminism has become something different now. They know that the feminism you're talking about, it's very convenient, isn't it, to sort of treat men like shit, and then when people say I'm not a feminist, say, oh, but feminism's out of quality. But that's not what feminism has become. It's not what feminism is anymore. Feminism is a mean, vindictive, spiteful, nasty, man-hating philosophy
So
that
why
has very
would you
little. Well, let me finish
promote-
because I let you finish, okay? That has very little to do with the equality of the sexes and a lot to do with man-hating. And the way that you know that is women are abandoning it in their millions. Women don't want feminism anymore. They have rejected your version completely. They don't agree with you. In the UK, the numbers are even worse. Just 7% of women in the UK describe themselves as feminist, despite the fact that 92% of women in the UK believe in equality of the sexes. It's very clear what's happening. They don't believe that those two things mean the same, because if they did, they'd give the pollsters the same answer to both those questions. Women know that feminists say one thing and do another. Women know that the primary purpose of feminism these days isn't to promote equality, it is to beat down on men. So you've lost, you have a big PR problem on your hands. And when you come up and say, well, how dare you not mention that it's actually just about equality of the sexes? Don't you believe in equality of the sexes? I very clearly said in my speech multiple times that I do, and that I love women, that I care about them. But, this sleight of hand that feminists play, when they're perfectly happy to treat men like shit and spread these conspiracy theories about the patriarchy, these lies about the wage gap, lies about campus rape culture, and then turn around and play the victim and play innocent and say, feminism's just about equality. Give me a break. Give me a break.
So,
as to your second part of your question, I get some shit from conservatives for this answer, by the way, but I agree with you. I agree with you that there are structural historical problems in this country. I agree with you that the black community has been treated like hell by both Democrats and Republicans. I just don't think Black Lives Matter is the answer. I don't think that throwing your toys out the pram and burning your own cities is the answer. I think better schools would help. And I think if black people really wanted to improve their lot and improve their situation, they would start voting for Republicans. Because when they do, and when people police properly, black lives are saved. Bill Clinton, who signed the crime bill in which took thousands of black dads out of families and threw them in jail, the terrible, pointless, awful war on drugs, right? Replacing, the black dad with the state, which is what Democrats have systematically tried to do to you guys for generations. And Black Lives Matter's response isn't to say, we're going to try voting for the other guys because 40 years of this hasn't worked. What we want is better schools so that a poor black child who is smart could go to Harvard. They don't do that. They cause a fuss, they block a road, and they burn their own towns down. So yeah, I agree with you that there's a problem. But I think we probably have very, very different prescriptions for that.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to read that sign earlier, but it was upside down.
Oi!
Who the fuck are you?
Hey,
Who the fuck are you?
don't come near the camera.
Look at the camera. Who the fuck are you, man? Sorry.
That's... Oliver, just go that way, go that way.
Seriously, who the fuck are you? Fuck off now. Seriously.
No, we're staying here because
Yes,
this
you
is
are.
public property. Oliver, run.
Fuck off, you fascist cunt.
We're not fascists. You're the fascists. You're denying people free speech. You're denying people free speech.
Fuck off. Fuck
No,
off.
I'm staying here.
Fuck off. You trash.
This guy is beating us up and he's trying to grab the cameraman. Can you please stop him? The man, yeah, the one right there.
Guys, want to give the lady the hat back?
You're the real fascist, you know that?
You're the fascist.
You don't believe in free speech, you don't believe in our right to be on public property. You are the real fascists. You're covering your face because you're ashamed of what you're doing.
We cover our faces because we end up on racist websites. That's why we cover our faces up.
Fine, let's go.
No, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving because of these people. Because of these fascists.
You're the fascist.
Yo, where's Chris?
He got punched.
Incredibly disingenuous for you to get upset about this when this
For me to get upset when people were coming up and punching me and my cameraman.
Precisely, you wanted to create some conflict. So
I
you could
said
have something
nothing
good
to
and
anyone.
happen.
I said nothing to anyone.
Guys, you know, a heated debate is not an unhealthy thing, okay? But let's not antagonise people at the moment. We're very early in the evening. Let's not antagonise anybody.
I said
okay?
nothing to anyone.
I know.
I'm doing nothing. I'm saying nothing. What I'm saying
Someone stole my private property, punched my cameraman, punched my friend, and now this woman is coming up and saying that it is our our fault. That
yes,
is.
you came here deliberately.
It is our fault for
Deliberately
getting
to-
punched. It is our fault for having my private
deliberately
property.
people.
We have a
I'm
right
not
to be
saying,
here.
did I say you don't have a right to be here?
What did I? No, tell me.
What I'm saying is that you came here
What did I do?
deliberately to provoke
What did I do to
You
provoke
came here
people?
with a shit had no taste just to start a scrap. That's what you did.
I came here wearing a hat, so it's my fault that my friends got punched, that I got shoved. Unreal.
It's a very motive day today, obviously, for a lot of people. So let's.
I'd
have an
say
exchange
wearing
of views, but let's
balaclavas
not be
is a
provocative, okay?
not be provocative. There are men here holding signs that say "kill all white men." There are people here holding signs that are extremely offensive, wearing balaclavas and punching people. Yet a hat is provocative? Unreal. Unreal. He got Chris got pushed over and punched. He might not be okay. I don't know. We have to find him. This is unreal. These people are just bad people. We need to find my friend. He might be injured.
We'll find your friend, but we'll do it in a low-key way. Let's not be too provocative, okay?
Let's not
Because
be
I'm
too
thinking of
provocative.
you and your friend. Who is it you're missing at the moment? You said you're
My
looking for
friend
someone.
Chris. My friend Chris.
Can you describe him to me?
He was punched a few times
He's about
and
6 foot.
I've only just got
He's
him.
about 6'1" or 6'2", kind of big build,
Canadian
blue
guy.
shirt, light blue shirt,
Light blue shirt.
native British accent.
Okay, has he got any of
Well,
your
no.
camera kit or anything like that?
sounds
Or is he
British
just-
to
He's got a big camera.
Big
got a big camera.
Okay, I'll
Stubbly
have a look
guy.
and bring him over. It's important that you stay here, okay? Okay. Are you alright? Did you have anything taken from you? You said
yes,
you
they
had-
stole my hat.
Right.
Twice.
It was at 6 pounds.
What was it? The anti-fascists?
Yeah.
All
yeah.
in March. I can't believe I've missed all the fun.
Well, you got here just as it, you know.
I was just sat
No,
down there
this-
having a curry.
Oh my goodness.
Thinking, oh, I'll
Just be
take my
aware,
time.
it's a highly